When Cheryl Ladd stepped into Charlie's Angels in 1977, the cameras captured a bright smile and effortless confidence, but behind the scenes something far colder lingered. Kate Jackson avoided posing with her. Farrah Fawcett, returning briefly to set, greeted everyone warmly except Cheryl, offering only a stiff handshake. Producers quietly rewrote scenes to minimize interaction. Fan mail poured in, but much of it was venomous. Crew members warned Cheryl to brace herself. The hostility wasn't just jealousy. It ran deeper, rooted in betrayal, fear, and a shifting balance of power. Cheryl Ladd was born Cheryl Jean Stoppelmore on July 12, 1951, in Huron, South Dakota. Her childhood was modest and crowded, shaped by long workdays and tight finances. Her mother waited tables. Her father worked as a railroad engineer. She shared a bedroom with her siblings, wore hand-me-downs, and watched television on a flickering black and white set. Yet the home was filled with warmth. Her parents believed in discipline, effort, and their daughter's spark. They let her turn the living room into a stage, sewing costumes from old dresses as Cheryl performed for neighbors. That mix of encouragement and scarcity forged her resilience early. By the age of 4, she was mimicking stars she saw on television, especially Shirley Temple. She practiced endlessly, using spare moments to sing and dance. By 12, she knew she wanted more than her small-town life. She dreamed of entertainment, of places far beyond Huron. That same year, she formed a folk rock band with friends called the Music Shop. They played Joan Baez covers at fairs and local events, earning $5 per show. To a teenager in the late 1960s Midwest, it felt like a fortune. In 1970, the band moved to Los Angeles, fueled by hope. Days after arriving, 2 members were injured in a car accident, and the group collapsed. Cheryl stayed. That decision changed everything. Years earlier at 16, she had already taken a leap, dropping out of high school and heading to Los Angeles with just $200 saved from babysitting. Hollywood was lonely and unforgiving. She lived in cheap apartments, took any work she could find, and endured long stretches of doubt. Still, she kept going, landing backup singing jobs, commercials, and small TV roles that barely covered rent. In 1969, she thought she had found her break as a dancer on The Mike Douglas Show. 2 weeks later, she was fired for being too wholesome for the show's new direction. She slept on couches, borrowed rooms from strangers, and questioned everything, but quitting was never an option. That stubborn refusal would become her greatest strength. At 19, she eloped with actor David Ladd in Las Vegas. The marriage, opposed by her parents, fractured quickly. Cheryl wanted to chase music and independence. David wanted stability and tradition. The divide widened, and though she hoped the relationship might help her career, it only added strain. They divorced in 1980. Music had been her first love. In 1971, she released a single under the name Sherry Moore. It sold about 500 copies and disappeared. She returned to waitressing, the disappointment sharp and humbling. In 1973, her pain deepened when she suffered a miscarriage. Grieving amid a collapsing marriage, she turned to acting as an escape, a way to focus on something outside herself. By 1974, she landed a recurring role on the Ken Berry Wow Show. The cast included future stars like Steve Martin and Terry Garr, but the show lasted only 1 season and left her $10,000 in debt. Earlier, she had quietly sung the voice of Melody on Josie and the Pussycats, earning $100 per episode. It wasn't glamorous, but it opened doors and helped her survive. After her divorce became public in 1976, Cheryl spoke candidly about wanting a fresh start. That honesty caught attention. The same year, she joined Ben Vereen's variety show, earning $500 a week until it was canceled after 5 episodes. In 1977, she made a decision that would haunt her for years, posing for a nude art book marketed as tasteful but judged harshly by Hollywood. Casting directors labeled her risky. She later called it naive, a mistake made out of financial pressure. A guest role on Happy Days that same year changed everything. Playing a roller skating car hop opposite Henry Winkler, she charmed audiences and became unforgettable overnight. Offers flooded in, many for shallow blonde roles she turned down. Her agent suggested a new name, Cheryl Ladd, and soon after, she auditioned for Charlie's Angels. Aaron Spelling noticed her while she filmed an Irish Spring commercial. He sensed something genuine. During her screen test, she tripped and accidentally fired a prop gun, freezing the room. Spelling laughed and offered her the role on the spot. She signed a 4-year contract to play Chris Monroe, the younger sister meant to ease Farrah Fawcett's departure. When her first episode aired in September 1977, filmed in Hawaii, 27 million viewers tuned in. Ratings held strong. Cheryl's salary reached $10,000 per episode. She bought her first home and donated part of her paycheck to charities back in South Dakota. Yet behind the scenes, tension simmered. Farrah's brief return brought cold gestures. Kate Jackson avoided her. Scenes were rewritten to keep distance. Cheryl stayed professional, focused on the work. By 1979, her popularity surged. A spontaneous line, "Sister Power," became a catchphrase. Her Q score soared. Endorsement deals followed, including a major Revlon contract. Her music career revived with an album that critics dismissed but Japanese audiences embraced. Fame expanded but pressure followed. An IRS audit forced her to pay back taxes. Injuries required stunt doubles. Still, she pushed forward. Her final episode aired in 1981. Ending her run with a daring motorcycle chase she performed herself. Emmy recognition never came. After leaving the show, she rejected dozens of shallow roles, choosing instead to prove herself in drama. A Golden Globe nomination followed. Music, fitness tapes, motherhood, and advocacy filled the years that followed. She spoke openly about miscarriage, body image, cancer, stalking, political threats, and trauma. She fought to protect her daughter from exploitation. She pushed writers to tell women's stories with honesty. Again and again, she chose integrity over comfort. The wounds from Charlie's Angels never fully healed. In 2006, she was excluded from a major tribute, left unseen despite her years on the show. She forgave quietly for her own peace. In later years, she declined reunions, choosing boundaries over nostalgia. By 2025, Cheryl Ladd's life had become something larger than fame. Through memoirs, mentoring, and advocacy, she turned survival into guidance. She no longer needed approval from the past. She had already built something stronger. A life defined by resilience, choice, and hard-earned peace.